Hey, welcome again to another episode of Captain's Quarters Podcast. Cheers to the crew, Davey, Longwood, and Hellfire Henley. Cheers to you.
Cheers, Captain.
Cheers.
And as always, we like to tell everybody what rum the captain is drinking. And tonight, it's 20-year-old Centenario. This was a gift given to me by a good friend of mine, Mr. Kreider, a member of my crew, my sergeant-at-arms, by the way, and he swears by Centenario. This is a 20-year-old version, and it's quite smooth. I might have to have another one before the night's over. We'll see how that goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast, like us, and subscribe. You're going to find out where our subscription numbers have jumped very nicely, and we'll be sharing that with you towards the end of the show. But like and subscribe, hit that bell, and that way you'll get a little bit of a ring-a-ding-a-ding when you know it's time for our show. So we hope that you will do that and be one of our podcast subscribers on YouTube. That's Captain's Quarters Podcast. Thank you very much. We look forward to seeing you there. As always, well, not always, it's something new we've started, paying our respects of the week. Ladies and gentlemen, there are two people that we'd like to pay respects to, both of them celebrities. One of them is John Hartman. Now, he is the co-founder of the Doobie Brothers. I actually got a chance to meet him in Tucson, Arizona in probably around 95 or 97, somewhere in there. And he was in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a drummer. He's died at the age of 72 this past week. Our loss there. And the other one, why, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nurse Ratched. That's what made her famous. She was the actor who played in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest a villainous nurse named Ratched. A lot of people know that character, and a lot of celebrities a lot of stars were asked to play that part, and nobody wanted to do it, and she took it on. So, ladies and gentlemen, she was 89 or 88. I can't read it. 88 years old. She had a few other things, but this is one of the things that's the most famous. And any of the people that are watching our show that are of movie-watching age as I am will remember her, especially One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So, in memory of these two, we have a moment. And a hearty cheers and huzzah to the life they gave to every one of us in their entertainment talents. Cheers to them. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the quote of the week. That would be Mr. Longwood's job, and you got the makings of greatness in you, but you got to take the helm and chart your own course. Stick to it, no matter the squalls. Long John Silver, Treasure Island, 1883. Good quote, Mr. Longwood. Very good quote. It is true. You must take the helm and steer your own course. It is what we've been doing here with the Captain's Quarters Podcast. We are now 1 year and 1 week old. And we've been steering our own course, and it is working out well. It's not gangbusters, but we are having a good time, and we are doing well. And we hope more and more people will watch us. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was our quote. It's also time for the question of the week. Now, in just 2 weeks, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers will be going over to join the Pirates of the White Sand crew. And, you know, Florida has some gorgeous beaches. We're curious to know, where is your favorite beach in the grand state of Florida? We'll be watching I was just watching something and my mind went blank. We'll be watching the comments coming in as we move through the show. For now, though, ladies and gentlemen, here is, and I have to keep putting my glasses on for all of this, here is something for us to show you what we're doing coming up, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. September, well, we've already done that part. and Talk Like a Pirate Day, so September's out. So we'll just ignore that part. But October 1st, that's this Saturday, the crew will be supporting Pink Up the Pace, hoping that the hurricane doesn't wipe that one out. 7, 8, 9, 10, Panama City Beach, Florida. The Pirates of the White Sands will be hosting the Pirates of the High Seas Pirate Festival. We hope to enjoy ourselves there for those 4 days. 27, 28, and 29, the Colonial Quarter Spooktacular. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be talking a lot more about that, maybe even in this show tonight. But we want you to come down. We have taken some of our best haunts, and those of you that know the Colonial Quarter, why, we're turning that ship that's down there in the Colonial Quarter into a ghost ship, and we have about 20 skeleton pirate crew. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It is $10 for adults, $5 for kids. It'll take you a little bit of time to walk through. We have 4 scenes, 3 photo opportunities, and 2 or 3 interactive scenes. We hope that you'll come down and see what we're doing. The proceeds, the profit, is going to St. Augustine Youth Services and Investing in Kids, Inc. Now, $10 and $5 might seem kind of high, especially for a family of 4. That could be $30. But we have it worked out. If you bring us a can of food for cats or dogs, that'll all be donated to the Humane Society. And what we're going to do there, ladies and gentlemen, is limit it. You can bring in 2 cans per ticket. So a $10 ticket in, if you bring 2 cans, we'll get you 8. So think about the mathematics and come and join us for that. Going into November, on November 12th, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers once again for the 2nd annual Pirates on the Edge in Edgewater, Florida. We will be down there, and I've just secured the ship from the Seawolf Privateers and Miss Gina Marie's ship from the Sirens. We'll have 2 ships down there as part of our footprint on their festival this year. It's looking to be a grand event. We want you to come down. That is 12 November from 10 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon, and then 6 in the afternoon till 10 at night is their grand adult dinner and entertainment. Then we get into December. December 3rd, the St. Augustine Beach Illumination with Santa and the St. Augustine Sirens. It's Ancient City Sirens, Ancient City Sirens will be hosting a bit of a toy drive there to help Santa Claus out this year. So come on down and see that. And then the Ancient City Sirens are sponsoring on the 16th a holiday event, a holiday gala. And then we can move right into 2023, and guess what? 27, 28, 29, Old City Pirate Festival. We'll be talking a lot more about that starting in about 3 weeks. We've secured the band for Friday night. We're working on the band for Saturday night. It is going to be a dinner and a band on Saturday night, and there's a possibility of a breakfast on Sunday morning. So, if you're wanting to have a good time in St. Augustine, be watching for what we plan on doing there. And that's our scheduling for October, November, and December, and January. Come out and have a good time with the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, Captain Mayhem, and the Captain's Quarters podcast, and crew with Mr. Davey Longwood and Hellfire Henley. So, that puts us at updates and after events. Well, once in a while you have to have a social time. You have to relax. This past Saturday, we had a social evening between the St. Augustine Swashbucklers and the Seawolf Privateers. It was quite a grand night. Hamburgers on the grill, plenty of rum. I made my own new drink, Blue Rum Punch. We called it Mermaid Piss. It was a lot of fun. We had a grand time. We had about 40 people out there. There's a couple of good pictures. My wife, Miss Cece, really likes the lights that we have set up out there. It's the blues and whites, and it's all very calming. And, of course, the fire was going. And it was a grand time. I and the birthday people that night were privileged to have Miss Cece make each one of them their own individual skull cake. And there it is. And we were trying to light them, but the breeze kept the lights going out. So we just sang anyway. But there it is. And, of course, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the captain of the Seawolves and the captain of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers having a drink or two together and relaxing in the camaraderie of both crews, sitting and socializing and having a good time. It was a grand night, and of course you can't have a grand picture without my good friend Maximus Mayhem. That there, ladies and gentlemen, is my bestest of friends of all. I never have any problems with him. And that is my seat there, cut out of 2 trees that we cut down when we first moved in here. And now I have a place to sit and admire the fire, enjoy my cigar, drink my rum, and enjoy the company of my dog, who I trust very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a grand night. But enough of that. We've reached that point. It's 11 minutes. I normally say it takes us 10 to 12 minutes to do this, and we've hit that point right now. It's time to invite in our guest. Now, our guest is from the Pirates of the White Sands. In fact, it's not just any pirate, but it is Ransom Mayhem, Del King McRea, my very own brother, who runs his own pirate crew over there in Panama City. How you doing there, brother?
How's everything going over there?
Hi, we're doing well. We're doing well. It's great to have you here. We originally were going to have him over here.
With the storm coming up and working on our float, I just couldn't make it.
Yeah, we were going to have him come over in person, and of course that would have gotten both the Mayhem brothers in trouble, because on Sunday night, if he would have been here, we'd have been drinking. On Monday night, we'd have been drinking, and he'd have had to stumble back home on Tuesday.
Yep.
But that's all right. So, you're working on your float.
Yep.
I keep bragging about your float to a few people. How long is it?
It's 48 feet.
Yes, that's going to be one.
It's a 48-foot pirate ship.
Very good. That's going to be one ginormous ship.
Because it makes its first maiden voyage at our event October 8th at the main parade.
Which is a Saturday night.
It's a Saturday. The parade starts at 5.
Very good, yes. Well, I can't wait to see it.
It's beautiful. We've been working on it every day that we can.
Am I going to get to ride on it, or do I have to walk behind it? Or am I going to have to walk in front of it with a broom and sweep the street for you?
Well, it depends. If you want to walk behind it, we may have a toilet that you may have to clean up.
Aye, well, I'd be used to that, too. I've dealt with crap before.
It's going to be great. This will be the only float that is handicap accessible. We won't have the ramp up, but when we finish everything, because we're short on time, it'll have a ramp for wheelchairs, because my crew does so much with the disabled people community. So it'll have a ramp to put pull people up on the ship with that are in wheelchairs and all that. So we're excited about it. It's the first time I've been doing my crew since 2008 that we've actually had a real float.
So now, how many years is this, the Pirates of the High Sea Festival? What is this, 7 years now?
It's a little bit longer than that. They actually started many years ago, right after one of the hurricanes, to be able to bring tourists and people back into Panama City.
But you didn't get involved with it right away, right?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
You were involved with it from the start?
Well, probably about 4 years after it started.
That's what I thought.
I went to the TDC, the Tourist Development Company, and I said, look, I would like to be involved in this. And because of that, I became actually the Pirate of Panama City Beach. I don't like bragging, but I'm on all their billboards.
Yeah, we've seen them.
I am on all the flyers that go out.
Wait, let me stop you for a minute, just for a minute.
Do what?
I'm going to stop you for a minute. You and I have had this conversation before. If you're telling people about things that you've done and directing them to things that you've done, it's not bragging.
Yeah, you know me, though.
I know. It's not bragging, though. Because think about it. You're in the business.
Yep.
If you don't do some of your own promotion,
Yep.
do you have faith in everybody else to do it for you?
Do I now?
Do you have faith in everybody else doing it for you?
Somewhat.
Some, but you have to spearhead it.
Yep.
That's the part about being in this business.
Oh, yeah.
If you do it for a living, it's not bragging. If it were bragging, then there'd be no such thing as TV commercials.
I kept telling the TDC, I said, look, I can help this event grow. We just need to move it. So this is the first year that we've actually been able to move it to the amphitheater.
Right.
They've decided they want to do a little bit of Ren Fair with it, which that's okay if that's what they want to do. But we've actually been able to grow it. We've got a lot of people coming in town for this event this year.
Well, let's see. I think I've been involved with it.
4 years?
What's that?
I think you've been involved 4 years?
3 years.
Longer than that.
Longer than that. I think at least 3 years before COVID, and then they didn't do it for 2 years, and now we're doing it again. So officially 5 years, and it may even be 6, but I think it's 5.
Yeah.
If you were to add the 2 years we didn't do it, it's a 7-year stint.
Right.
And the nice thing about working with the guys that you work with over there, and this is always a wonderful thing for me, having been an entertainer, both pirate and magician, working with clients that you get to work with every year for the same event is wonderful, because the expectations are there, but the friction to make the expectations work are not there, because you get used to working with people.
Right. Over the last several years, I've brought in pirates from all over Florida. I've brought in pirates from all over Atlanta and Tennessee. This year, I'm really proud to say that we have the cannon crew coming in from North Carolina.
Is that the loose cannon crew?
Do what?
Is that the loose cannon crew?
No, it's not the loose cannon crew. It's the other cannon crew.
Okay.
Damon Toman is the loose cannon crew. This is the other pirate crew. So we have that set up. I'm hoping they'll let us fire cannons. We've been working on that for a couple of years. We had a guest go up at one of the events with their own cannon and started firing at will. So they kind of got rid of the cannons, but I'm hoping this year we'll be able to do that. One of the first events we did with them was we came in all across the Gulf of Mexico in the pirate ship and ran ashore. And that's when they saw everything that we could do for them, and they just jumped on it. And it's been growing ever since. We've never been able to have vendors at all, but this year, because we've moved it over to the amphitheater, we'll have vendors, a beer booth, we have food trucks. We've just got a lot going on this year. It's a lot to put on.
Very good, very good. Well, I look forward to being there. They bring me in. What's that?
I said I look forward to having you here.
They bring me in for 3 things actually. They bring me in for magic shows, and I usually do at least 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. But with the changes and everything, I'm not sure what they want to do yet. We also bring our traveling museum over there.
Yep.
So we will have that, and Dee and Robin, Mr. Gregory and Robin, they are very up on the artifacts in there, and they'll be there with me. They've attended the last 3 or 4 at least. Miss Cece will be there with me.
Good.
And then we have a few new crew members that are going to come over.
Very cool. Well,
we were trying to get
here is it's actually started with one of the Mardi Gras crews here in town called the Crew of Dominique Hugh.
Yes.
And there's a story that they tell about the crew of Dominique Hugh. And then the pirates that I bring in, we get involved in their storytelling, and we actually do the sword fight for them. They have an acting crew that comes in and does the acting part of it, but the pirates that I bring in actually do all the sword fighting for them. And it's not fake swords; it's all real swords. We know what we're doing. So we do that for them. And then in the past, it's been Friday and Saturday. We break down and go down to the end of the beach and set up over there. But this year, it's all 3 days at Air and Bessett's, plus the east end of the beach for the Captain Anderson's area. So we're pretty widespread this year.
It's nice that you've got almost everything going on in one area on Friday and Saturday. And
Yes.
I know you've asked me if I can go down and do over in Captain Anderson's area. And it's just, I'm open to do whatever they want to do, because they're really nice. Like I said, there were 3 things that we do: the magic show, the touring museum, and then I bring anywhere from 10 to 20 of our crew over. I think this year it'll be 11 or 12 of our crew, and they provide all the extra support for our tents for the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, and we have some gifts and giveaways and raffles and do whatever else we can do, and the money that we raise goes back into our toy drive. So it's always a good thing.
Well, we have in the past been able to do a meet and greet Friday night at one of the local restaurants, and I bring all the pirates into the restaurant, and we provide the entertainment for that. And we do a silent auction. But because this year the event starts a little later on Friday night, we may do a fundraiser Friday night and all day Saturday as raffle tickets, so that we can raise money for one of the local charities here. The one thing that most events don't have is our Sunday event, the water flotilla.
Right.
Now, the water flotilla is all at the Captain Anderson's area. All the kids chase the pirates onto our pirate ship here in Panama City Beach. And then all the kids get on the other boats, and we go out in the lagoon, and we have a water cannon fight, water balloon fight with all these kids on the other boats. So they're fighting the pirates, trying to run them out of town. And it's a highlight of the whole weekend.
Well, I know that many of my pirates, they have done that event with you. The last couple of years, I had to do magic shows around that same time, so I couldn't go on board the ship, and it wouldn't have done me any good to get all soaking wet and come back and try to do a magic show. So it's one of the things that I don't get to do.
Well, I think this year we're trying to get you and Tom Mason on Sunday by about 1, and then by 2:30, I think, is when the flotilla starts. You could be able to get on the ship with the pirates and do the flotilla.
Cool. Well, we'll see what happens, see how everything works out, and have a good time with that.
Yep.
So it's a great event. What are the charities that you're using or that you're helping when you do this event? Your charity specifically, but does the TDC put something towards the charities you're doing, or are they just...
They really never have, because they have so many expenses going on.
Right.
I've never talked to them about that. But we help out the local crew called the Toys for Kids Foundation, which I've actually been a member of for like 20-something years.
Right.
All the toys we collect for during the year, and the money we collect goes to buy Christmas for the kids in town. We help out the local special needs school called Margaret K. Lewis. There's a new one called the Ark. And I'm very proud to say I actually have a special needs kids in my crew that I met in 2008 when they did the end of the school year party over at the restaurant right across the street here called Schooners. They closed the restaurant and have a big end of the year school party for the special needs kids. And his name is Justin Jackleg. We gave him a pirate name. That's his pirate name, Justin Jackleg. And I'm very proud to say he's still with me.
He is.
Got family involved in it. And so we take a very special pride in being able to help the special needs community.
Yeah, he comes around and calls me Uncle Bill.
Yes, he
Uncle,
does.
Oh, yeah, so I'm the uncle, and he's a unique individual.
Yes, he is.
And he's trying to think of a proper way to say this. He's very boisterous.
Yep.
He's very friendly. And I don't see ever a mean bone ever in his body that he's never.
Now he's I believe I met him when he was probably 12, 13 maybe.
Now he's what?
25, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And we also have a couple of Down syndrome people in our crew, because we are a family, we are a crew. We call ourselves a crewmily. It's a combination of crew and family.
Very cool. So, do you have mermaids this year?
Yes, we do. I actually do shows and entertainment at the Days Inn here that has mermaids. And so the mermaids, there's 3 mermaids there. They will be with us on the float. I do hear that the TDC has hired a mermaid for the event that actually swims in a tank.
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I have not got that information yet. But yeah, and I have a good friend of mine. Her name is Misty Joy, who does mermaid and fire throwing, and she's part of one of the shows that I do where she throws a ball of fire at me while I'm swinging a sword at her.
She's been there a couple of years.
Yes.
Yeah,
She did mermaid a couple of years.
Yeah, she has a really nice big seashell throne that she sits on.
Very
Yes.
much so. Yes.
Yes. So, thinking of questions that I could ask you, let's step away. Oh, wait, one other question for the event. You have Tom Mason for Friday, Saturday night, or just Saturday day, or what's
We
Tom
have
Mason's
Tom
schedule?
Mason for Saturday,
Saturday.
and then Sunday Tom Mason will be playing at Captain Anderson's.
Do you have music or a band or anything set for Friday night yet?
Friday night there is I've got the schedule in front of me, but there's entertainment all day on Friday, and fireworks Friday night, and then Saturday there's entertainment all day long with Tom Mason and you doing your shows, and then there's well, let me back up. Excuse me. Friday is a kids parade. It's a smaller parade, and the only people on the floats that are allowed to throw beads are kids. So the crew Dominic U brings about 3 or 4 of their floats in, and the kids get on there, they throw beads. It's a shorter parade. And
Are they doing the parade in the same location?
all right, yes, the parade will be right down the center of Pier Park. And the Pirates of the White Sands and the Pirates that I bring in, we actually walk behind the parade till it gets to the center. And as the parade goes on and turns back around, we wait there for them. We walk back to the front. And then there'll be fireworks after that. There's a ball drop that they have these big nets run across Pier Park area, and they drop all these beach balls out, gold beach balls. And then Saturday we have the acting part and sword fighting part of the play for the crew Dominic U. We actually have a long parade. I measured it out one time. It's like almost a 3-mile parade on Saturday, and then there's all kinds of entertainment, and again fireworks Saturday night, and then Sunday there's entertainment stuff going on there, but there's also entertainment and fireworks going on again on Sunday at Captain Anderson.
Very cool. Well, I look forward to seeing Tom Mason because I haven't seen Tom Mason before COVID set in, and then
Right.
of course
Tom Mason was here right before. I think of the event before when COVID kicked in. That
Yes.
event there.
And I think that we showed up for that event, but that was 2019, wasn't it?
Yes.
And there was a hurricane.
Well, 2018 is when we saw that we were actually at the pirate event, and people were calling us and asking us, "What are you going to do with the hurricane?" And we just we don't, we've been on doing this for like a week and a half. We don't know anything about news and hurricanes. And that's when the Hurricane Michael came in and wiped out a lot of Panama City and Bay County.
Mexico
so
Beach
the
too.
last one, and then the rest of them have all been virtual.
Right.
Since then, and we've been, I did a lot of virtual shots all over Panama City for the events.
We Davey was my cameraman, and we provided some
Yes.
virtual magic and some other things for one of our. That's one of the videos we should have popped in tonight. The one with the weapons and the sound effects. That was really cool. Yeah, and I haven't had a chance. This will be my first time to get a chance to say hello and be with Tom Mason because he had some health issues that.
Yes.
Everybody was concerned about for him, but he's kicking it back. And
I've actually talked to him online, and he's actually doing really good.
yes, he is. I've had a couple of chats with him, and that's how come I know how much, how we're trying to bring him in for Old City Pirate Festival at the end of January, too.
Good.
So it's just a matter of getting sponsorships the way I need to get sponsorships. You're lucky you have the TDC helping you out.
Yes.
That helps you out a lot.
Yes.
I don't have that same help, so I have to try to bring in the sponsorship myself. But we've made some big inroads, and we'll see what happens. And bringing back Old City Pirate Fest now after 2 years down, we've already had 4 good, successful years. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to do what we can.
Well, I got a lot of new crew members here recently that are all gun ho, and so we'll probably bring a bunch of new pirates over there for your event.
Good. I might have to build a tent city in my backyard for everybody.
I got 3 period tents. We can do what we got to do.
Well, I may want you to put one of them at Old City Pirate Fest because we're
It's
doing
a possibility.
we're doing a
But
couple
you
of
got to
others.
provide some heat because the last time you did Old City Pirate Fest, it was cold.
Well, it's usually pretty chilly in January, but it gives you a chance to wear all your pirate gear all at one time.
That's it. Yeah, all 12 of my outfits.
That and the fact that, well, that's why we have rum.
There you go.
Yes.
Rum and cigars is all we need.
That's it. That's all we need. Very much so. So let's step away from your festival that has been very successful now for the past 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, we have probably 15,000 people show up at this event.
Yep, you do well.
Yeah.
You do well. And I'll tell you one other thing, too. Because of the Pirate Museum, we have schools from all over the state that come to St. Augustine for their 4th grade or 5th grade field trip. I have dozens of schools that come over here from Panama City.
Yep.
And
actually, one of my powder monkeys will be over there in April.
When they come over, when I find out they're Panama City, I always ask, the first thing I ask is how many of the parents went to high school in Panama City, and I badmouth Bay County or Bay High, and
yes, you should.
The only ones that I give a hug to are the Rutherford alumni.
Ram life.
That's it. And then we talk about the Pirate Festival. I tell everybody that I'm a guest performer at the Pirate Festival in Panama City Beach. And then almost every time somebody says, well, do you know the pirate that's over there? I said, yes, I know that pirate. That's my brother. And so you've gotten quite a name over there in Panama City doing what you're doing, so you've done really well.
It's been a lot of hard work. But
well, it always is hard work to get yourself to that point.
I've got a lot of support, especially from my wife, Michelle.
Yeah.
And people that I've known for years that have supported me left and right doing this. And it's just something I fell into. I mean, I started doing pirate when my kids were in elementary school, 30. Well, my son's 35. So I ended up being a school mascot in a pirate costume that I handmade that you wouldn't want to wear it for Halloween right now.
I should have thought about, I have that picture somewhere. I should have thought about bringing it up and making fun of you on it.
Well, I could probably send it to you, but we'll do that on another show.
There you go. But yeah, you've been doing pirating now for 30 years or more.
Yes.
But not as serious as a pirate.
No.
As when you really first stepped into it when you came to St. Augustine in 2008.
Yes. I thought, what better way than two brothers, real brothers, to start doing something kind of cool. And,
so
of course, our parents thought we were crazy.
Well, our dad still does. God rest mom's gone, but dad still thinks we're kind of crazy.
Yeah, and so I said, well, what better way to work together with my brother than do this pirate? So I came over for the first pirate gathering in Fountain of Youth,
2008, and
I just fell in love with what we do, and been going ever since.
And there was one other person I have one favorite picture of that whole time. One other person in that picture.
You, me, and your son.
And my son. And sometimes he watches the show. I haven't noticed if he's watching the show tonight. He goes by Will the Historian when he's on the show. So, Davey, have you seen him on there?
No.
Hellfire? No? Okay. He's a school teacher, so sometimes he's really busy in the evenings. Yeah. But yeah, I have a picture of you and me and William. Yep. My son, all in pirate gear.
Yep.
And that was a great event. It was cold that year, too.
Really a good event. That was probably one of the best pirate gatherings ever.
Yes. I'm proud of it because it was the start of what was a good run for a while.
Yep.
And it was when I was captain of Ancient City Privateers. And it was a good bunch of pirates, but as things always happen, branches and splinters happen, and Joe Osteen wanted me to take over his crew, and I took over his crew in 2009, and here we are.
Well, so here's to Joe Osteen.
Hey, and here's to Joe Osteen. And guess what? There's Will the Historian. So I should have thought about getting that picture out of the old files, but there he is, yep. Will the Historian. So there were 3 Mayhems at the first pirate gathering in 2008. Yes. 3 Mayhems, and all 3 related, which was completely unheard of amongst the pirates because all none of the other pirates were all related like we were. So it was a grand thing. So you took that love and you went back to Panama City.
Yep. And I said, I want to do this in Panama City. So I started my own crew, and I said, what can I call it? Well, if you've never been to Panama City, the sand on our beach is sugar white. So I said, Pirates of the White Sands.
It's a good name. It really is a good name.
Yes, and actually, if you look at the logo, it very much looked like me with the long hair and beard.
Yeah, you're pretty skeleton looking.
Yeah, very much so. It has a crown on it because my middle name is actually King. And the rifle is my first rifle I bought when I first started doing pirate, and the sword is my first sword that I got when I first started doing pirate. Now, the logo was drawn for me by one of the order members.
Who?
Paul Poche.
Oh, yeah?
Bloody Sam Rackham.
So now, do you remember why? Because I'm the one that gave you the name Ransom.
Yes.
Do you remember why? The
Yes.
storyline we gave? The storyline was that Captain William Mayhem would handle all the crew, but Captain Ransom Mayhem would handle all the ransoms and the money.
Right. Well, the other reason is because you're William Mayhem. William is actually your real name.
Yep.
I said I really wanted to use part of my real name in pirate. Well, there's not a whole lot of pirates named Dell. So we looked up King, and we came up with the King's Ransom. And I said, well, why don't we flip it?
That's it.
Ransom King. And so I'm Ransom King Mayhem. And I know it's my name because it's on my arms. Let's see if I can get it here.
You're going to have to stand on your head for that one. There you go. So 2008 to present day is 12.
I can't do math. I flunked at it, Rutherford.
Yeah, well, so it's been a solid, let's see, 2008 to 2022.
He's looking at 14 years?
Yeah, 14 solid years that the Mayhems have really been doing this.
Yes.
And really having a good time with it.
Yeah, and now there's 2 Mayhems in the Order of Leviathan.
There are 2 Mayhems in the Order of Leviathan, and we're the only 2 brothers, real brothers, in the Order.
Yes.
The only other people that are related within the Order are, and there's mine, The only ones that are related in the Order otherwise are married. I think there's at least a couple or 2.
That's Robert and Emily, right?
Yes, Robert and Emily Farrell.
Yep.
They're in the Order, and they're a married couple, and they just moved here to Florida over the last couple of months.
From California.
I don't think they're watching the show tonight. I tried to get them to watch it tonight, but they're now getting ready to experience their first hurricane.
Yes.
I had a private conversation with Will the other 2 or 3 days ago, and he was thank you, Nightingale. Thank you very much. Robert was stressed because Floridians are too humorous about these storms that come in and blow everything away, and we just kind of laugh it off. And he was very dismayed because he wants to be serious about it because it's a serious thing. So we had a long conversation, and here was my advice, and it's the advice I give to anybody. When it comes to a hurricane, as long as you have everything physically prepared at your home as best as you can, whether it's food, water, supplies, batteries, flashlights, tarps, rope, whatever it is you think you need, as long as you have it all, your mental preparedness will fall into place.
Right.
But you can't worry about things that you have no control over when it comes to Mother Nature.
Well, there's only one person that knows what's going to happen with Mother Nature, and that's God upstairs.
That's true. I've lived through earthquakes, I've lived through fires, I've lived through floods, and I've lived through hurricanes. And when we were kids, we had to deal with tornadoes in Abilene, Texas. So all the things of Mother Nature are there. And
Well, I'll have to say, we've been in Panama City when you and I and our family first moved here in '75. I've seen several hurricanes come through here, but Hurricane Michael really hit Panama City and Bay County a lot. And this is one thing I'm really proud of my crew with. We actually turned my house into a supply area. I had pirates come in from Atlanta, and with the help of the swashbucklers,
we brought a van full of stuff.
Yeah, and so we actually took the pirates out in through Panama City and on the beach and in town where it was really hit hard, and started delivering supplies. So we not only do special needs, but we actually look out for our community. And we did everything we needed to by providing food and water and stuff like that after the hurricane.
Yeah, I rented a van, and actually, believe it or not, we didn't actually tell a lot of people this, but Enterprise Rental Car gave me that van. They did not charge me for it except for incidentals. And we rented the van. We filled it up with water and food and whatever else we needed to fill it up with. And it was a high top van, so it was filled to the brim.
Right.
And brought it on over there.
On my whole carport.
Yeah.
With everything that y'all provided and everything that we had before.
And I had 2 pirates with me then, and I believe
yes, you did.
I had Earl and I had darn, his name's going to escape me. How rude of me! I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Hopefully, it'll come to me. It's but I had 2 pirates that joined me on the trip over there, and when we came down 231, right?
Yep.
I was just amazed at the damage, and I wasn't even in Panama City yet. We left Interstate 10 and hit 231 and came down, and trees were sheared off at the 16, 17 foot mark. Trees were just snapped off at that height.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It was amazing.
Michelle and I actually took a trip after everything came back to normal, 8 months later. And we were an hour east of Tallahassee before we saw any trees that were still straight.
And then when we got into Panama City and saw the utter destruction, and this was probably 4 weeks after, wasn't it? About we arrived about a month after all of that with your event.
I believe so.
I was just, because I went to high school there, I grew up there in my teen years. I was just amazed at the damage and the stores and the houses and the mall that we used to hang out in all the time. The mall was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
It hasn't even still come back, has it?
No, they've actually closed the mall. There were only, that was Sears, JCPenney's, and Gapers or Dillard's.
The mall has a special place for me because when I came back from my basic training in the Air Force in 77, and I came home to visit the family before I was sent to Japan, I went to see Star Wars because Star Wars had just started, 1977, and the theater was in that mall.
Yep.
So that mall had a special place in my heart. That mall's still dead.
The theater was the only thing that's been open other than JCPenney's and the theater. That's the only thing that's been open in the mall since.
But the utter devastation. Now, and many others know that I did a lot of military service, and I travel around to a lot of hot spots in the world. I've seen some devastation before. The devastation in Panama City was flabbergasting to me. Maybe because it was more my own hometown, so to speak.
Right.
And it was just amazing. But
that's why we give back to our community. Because
and your community's strong for it. And
without our community, we're nothing.
Well, not only that, but because your pirates band together and do what they can for everybody else, it makes a difference. And that's what these pirate crews, a lot of the pirate crews that we've become friends with across the country, that's what they do.
Yeah.
And it's really...
The old saying used to be, take what you can, give nothing back. But my crew uses, take what you can and give it back to the community.
I have a different twist on it myself here because people ask all the time. And I say Jack Sparrow was kind of off on it a bit, but us newer pirates do it this way. Take what you can and spread it around.
There you go.
So that's what I tell everybody here.
Yep.
But it is an amazing thing that we do. And the reason it's amazing is partly ironic.
Well, pirates took everything.
Of course they did, but a lot of people don't understand the true history of pirates. A lot of the pirates were in some shape or form. A lot of the pirates, they were kind of like Robin Hoods, but not necessarily. The everyday folk liked pirates, had no problem with pirates. Pirates were only disliked by the military navies that were chasing them down and the royal families we were stealing everything from.
Right.
Because when we stole everything and went and sold it to the seaports and the towns, once we sold it to them, we took the money and we stayed there and drank their food and or drank their rum and ate their food. And,
like a
and
tourist
we put the money back into them like tourists.
Yeah.
So we really did make a difference on some of these. So that was a great thing. So it's been fun to be this pirate. And you probably have it happen to you too. In fact, I know you do. Every year you have people that come to your pirate event, and some people have come to your pirate event for several years in a row.
Yeah, I get it. I get that. Because I usually give out coins, and I have a couple of families that come up and go, they want my picture taken with their kids, and they still have the very first coin that I gave them. And so they get pictures all the time. And I also do stuff for the Days Inn, which is the Hilton Corporation. And I've got people all over the world that have come and stayed at the Days Inn that still keep in contact with me because they saw the pirate. And it's just something we do. You know, we're not all about self gratification. We're all about giving back to the community.
Absolutely. And some people would mistake the self gratification for self promotion.
Right.
But when you're in the business, self promotion is something that is necessary to keep things going.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead, Davey. You say something?
No.
Oh, I thought you said something.
I thought
You guys-
I heard something.
I'm sorry.
Davey
I'm sorry.
and Hellfire are being mighty quiet right now.
I'm sorry, Captain Mayhem. My crew normally will be quiet when I'm talking, but I realize they're talking way too much right now and making it hard for us to have a conversation.
Well, you know what's funny? When we were both at a pirate event and somebody yells Mayhem, and we both turn around and go, "What do you want?"
Yeah. Well, they're getting twice the pleasure.
There you go.
Well, after all these years, it's one of those things. I guess I'll put it this way. When I left home in 77,
Yep, I remember that.
I was
so happy to have that room to myself.
Yep, we shared a room all through our childhood.
Yes, we did.
But when I left home in 77, I didn't come back home for over 3 years.
I thought it was a little longer than that.
About 38 months.
Okay.
And then I was gone again, and then I was back again. This is the one thing that we started doing in 2008 that we share and we do together.
Yep.
Even though we're not geographically in the same location,
Right. Right.
we have the same ideas, we do the same thing, we have the same successes.
Yep. I've been real happy over the last multiple years of going to multiple schools in Bay County to read books to the kids. And I have a few artifacts, not a lot, but we go and talk about that stuff. So I've been in the school board system to do that. Just, when I'm in regular clothes, people walk up to me and go, "I've seen you before." I'm like, "Where have you seen me before? Are you on a billboard? Are you on a flyer?" "Yes, I am. I'm the Pirate of Panama City. I represent Panama City Beach and my crew." And I've been real blessed to be able to do this. It's not an easy job, but it's a job that I love with no end.
Davey, did you just get that?
Yes.
Pop it up there. This is a picture. It was just sent to me, and I forwarded it over to Davey.
Did Will Historian send you a picture?
What's that?
Did Will Historian send you a picture?
Yes, he did. So this is a picture of 2008. Ransom Mayhem, William Mayhem, and young Will Mayhem.
Yep. Who was looking to be a pastor at that time.
He was. In fact, he's still pretty staunch in his beliefs.
Yes.
But he's there we are.
There you go.
Wow, do we look young? No, well, maybe not.
I look
still
younger than you.
I
all
look
that
kind of
white on your
old
face.
still. What's that?
Look at all the white on your face.
I still have it.
Hey,
My
if it ain't
gosh.
turning gray, it's turning loose.
Yeah. Well, look at the face you have now with the dark hair, and it's no longer dark.
I'm telling you.
And there's Will, the historian. That's my son.
Yeah.
And I will say this: I'm very proud of him. He's a high school history teacher in Alabama.
Yep.
And every time I see stuff that he does online, he dresses up in character formations, and he has high school kids paying attention and wanting to learn, and that's very, very, very important for teachers. So he does a fine job, and I can't tell people how proud I am of him. I have people that
I'm
come,
very proud of him.
and it's a wonderful thing. So it's an awesome picture. I have it in my computer. I just should have thought to get it before. But thanks to my son for popping that up there. It's a good thing. Ransom kind of looks like Sean Connery.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to get that too.
Wait till I put on my kilt.
Yeah. I also get, and this one I never understand, everybody thinks I look like Jack Black.
I don't understand that either.
Me neither. Me neither. But if you look at my very one or two of my Vegas publicity pictures, I get accused of looking like Orson Welles.
I can see that on a couple of them.
It is. It's it's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. I just got a message back from Jeff Williams, who was on our show a couple weeks ago,
Do what?
and I just sent him. I just wanted to make sure he was safe. He is safe. He lives down in St. Petersburg, so he's going to get the brunt of that. He has a nice condo, and he's about 16 floors up in the air.
He should go. He should, after working with a condo building here in Panama City, he
Yeah.
should go down to the bottom floors and get in the car garage.
So it's been a good show,
It has been. I appreciate you having us.
and we're happy to advertise your show, and I hope that more and more people will come to the event, and I hope that we can do some advertising over at your event and get people over to our event, because I've often thought it would be really wonderful if we could just do these two events and we advertise back and forth between each other.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
So,
Bring, if you've got any advertising for Old City Pirate Fest, bring that over.
because it's 2 weeks away, if I can come up with something, I will.
Yes.
But there's one of the things that we're working on for Old City Pirate Fest.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
Yep. We were just down in Cedar Keys at one of their events this about a week ago, which promoted their fundraisers for the school, and we promoted our event down there. And we had several people said they were coming to Panama City because of that being down there, and we were down there.
I'd love to get somebody from the Cedar Key officials there to be on the show so we can talk their event up.
Okay.
We sent some messages over, but so one of the things we do, and we'll talk about this along the way here at the end of the show anyway, but one of the things we do, we send messages out, but the biggest message we put out is that if you want to be a part of our show in any way, shape, or form, please message us. Because that's what we look at. I mean, we send messages out too, but we want people to message us because that means they really want to be on the show. It also means then that if we accept those messages that come into us, then we're not going to be accused of snubbing everybody because it's a two-way conversation. If you want to be on the show, message us. If you want to be on the show, answer our message.
Right.
So you have two opportunities to be on the show, and we really want to promote other shows, other acts, other pirates, other crews, and other festivals.
Well,
and
between you and I have talked about this before. It's not about snubbing other pirates because there are pirates that snubby people, but it's about a camaraderie between all the different crews all over the place. So we promote you, you promote us, they promote them, and it makes the pirate community grow even better.
And people have to be open to the idea that we got to work together once in a while. So
Right.
we work with the Seawolf Privateers. We work with the Pirates of the White Sands, Scarlet Deerheart's crew, James Hawk and his crew.
Scarlet Fortuna.
and Scarlet Fortuna, which they'll be at Panama City, right?
I don't think so.
No.
No, Hawkeye has schooling and stuff like that. I've not
Right.
heard back from him yet.
So we've also talked to Diego, and Diego's supposed to be on our show soon, and we're going to talk
Good.
about his time through the summer on the ships. So we're open to anybody and everybody that wants to be a part of our show. But you got to let us know, because there's just so many avenues of communications out there. We can't be on all of them,
Right.
and you just have to let us know. So it's very important. I have one other message here. Let's see what he did here. Oh, very good. It was just that message. Very good. So,
Can you ask if anybody is on? Because I can't see anybody typing. Is anybody on here from Pirates of the White Sands?
I don't know. That's one of the things. Let me look at what our scripting is here. Our scripting is that we should do. You know what we should do, Davey? Why don't we? What was that?
Yeah.
Davey, why don't we do History of the Week? And while you're doing History of the Week, I can look through the messages.
Okay.
Sound good? every time. And it's not just pirates, it's about world history, and we all need to know some of it or learn some of it. So very good. So, I went back through and looked. I don't see any of your crew that might have made it to the show there, Captain
I do
Mayhem.
know that my one special needs kid with cerebral palsy, Justin Jackleg, is on the show.
Oh, very good. Is he watching from Facebook or YouTube?
I have no idea, but I just talked to his mom, and he's on the show, and he's enjoying it.
Very good. Well, then I'll say this.
Jackleg. Peace.
Hello, Justin from your Uncle Bill, Pirate Mayhem.
We talk pretty much almost every day, and we end our phone calls with "I love you" and "peace," and he does it back to me, and it's a great thing.
So I'm going to run down these because I saw some messages that require a couple of comments.
All right.
So let's see. As always, Zachary Harker is always here. Zachary, you sent us a message that you'll be in town here coming up this weekend. We have a guest for Monday night show, but if you're in town in St. Augustine and want to be an extra guest on the show, you and your wife are welcome to sit here in the studio with me. I have a chair here. We'll let your wife sit there, and you can sit off camera somewhere. Ken Smith, he wanted to know, was that Long John Silver from Treasure Island or Treasure Planet? Ken Smith, that is Treasure Island. We don't talk about Treasure Planet right away. Let's see. Scarlet Deerheart's favorite beach is Panama City Beach. It's so blue and clear
Scarlet.
and white and sandy, it reminds me of the Caribbean. That's really good. Let's see. Zachary Harker is Glen Beach in Michigan. All right, we'll let that go. Michigan. That's where he's from.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yes, I'm sure it's not a time that you get to see everything all the time. It's cold up there.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Ken Smith always enjoyed Blackbeard's old haunt, the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Has some very beautiful beaches. They do have some beautiful beaches there in the Carolinas. And, of course, Scarlet Deerheart says, my second favorite beach is Fort DeSoto Beach. Scarlet, St. Augustine is like third on your list. We're going to have a talk.
Hey, you know what? PCB is number one.
What's that?
PCB number one.
Yeah, that's what I see. But Nightingale in Florida says, my favorite beaches are right here in St. Augustine. St. Augustine Beach and Crescent Beach. Not the clearest of water, but lots of wonderful memories growing up and now with family and friends. So that's the best part. Here's one of the other reasons I want to go through it. Little Traveler. Little Traveler is a fan of ours. He comes to the museum once in a while. Haven't seen him for a while. I'm sure it's because of school and everything. And we're going to have to make him an honorary member of the crew. But Little Traveler, Davey, you remember him, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Little Traveler. If you're still watching us, because I'm still going through the messages, hello, it's good to see you. I'm always honored when you're on the show. You know what? We might have to do a show with just you being my guest. I'll talk to your dad. Little Traveler is about 11, 12 years old.
Make sure he's on a float.
What's that?
Tell him to come to Panama City. We'll make sure I'm on a float. And I do have to say this, if I have just a minute.
Go ahead.
The Pirates of the White Sands did several Make-A-Wish Foundation events about a year ago. And we had one family that both the young kids had cancer. So we provided a full day of them. We actually invited them to come back to be our ambassadors on the first voyage of our float for our event. And
Will they be there?
They are traveling to Panama City for that event to be on our float.
Very good, very good. Well, talk to me privately about that.
Right.
And the Swashbucklers will put together some kind of a small gift pirate chest to give them from St. Augustine. That'll include some tickets to the Pirate Museum if they can make it over and take a trip with us.
All right.
Okay? Let's see. Scarlet Deerheart, she thinks the water fight is the best. Love Misty Joy. She's the sweetest. Who's Misty Joy?
Misty Joy is the one that does our mermaid at Days Inn. She also is the one that throws balls of fire at me.
Very good, very good. Now, is Scarlet Deerheart going to be setting up a photo booth?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good. They have a photo booth coming too. She just answered it.
Yep.
Don't miss Old City Pirate Fest. It's a lot of fun for both kids and adults. That's
Yes,
Nightingale. I appreciate that. And then Will the Historian pops in. So we got a chance to talk about him and show off the picture. Nightingale said she'd like to see the picture, and he produced. We thank you for that.
We actually
Donna,
need to get that picture framed for all three of us.
What's that?
We need to get that picture framed for all three of us.
I think I'm going to have something even more special done with that picture. You wait and see.
All right.
Donna Bogus. I really appreciate this comment more than anything else. It is great to see two brothers who are so popular in their towns as pirates.
Thank you, Donna.
Aye. What makes it really great, Donna, if you think about it, we kind of have a control from Panama City to St. Augustine, Florida. And all those pirates in between are part of our family. So it's a good thing. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ken Smith. When pirates show up with plunder to share. Aye, that's what we do. Oh, Scarlett Deerheart. She came over and helped you during the hurricane too?
Oh, yes.
Very good, very good. See?
I actually had, between her and Ewan and the Cursed Few out of the Atlanta area, we had several pirates over here that were cleaning it up and taking care of the area over here.
So, Earl, if you're still watching the show, because I just saw your message, you said you remember the trip, you still have the pictures on your phone. Please remind me, who was the other pirate that went with us?
All I remember is a dark-haired guy.
What's that?
I remember a dark-haired guy. That's it.
The parade and the dunk tank at PPC was
dunk
good.
Tank at PPC was a good time, yes.
So Earl is still watching. So remind me, Earl, who was the other pirate? And please forgive me for not remembering the name. I hate it when I have problems remembering names nowadays. But it seems that brain fog is a common thing.
It's not brain fog. It's called old age.
I prefer to call it brain fog. It's easier to get away with. Let's see. Jack Shiver. There it is. Jack Shiver. He had got married just shortly after that. Jack is a part of another crew here in St. Augustine, but still, I consider him a good friend, and we just haven't had a whole lot of time to chat and talk and catch up. So, Jack Shiver, Earl, and myself drove that over there. It was a fun event for us to bring all that stuff over to Mayhem over in Panama City. It was well worth it. So, let's see. Deerheart says flabbergasting is such a good word for it. It was totally shocking. Yeah, I would agree with you. Yes, Will the Historian, I sent him the picture. Ransom kind of looks like Sean Connery. Awesome picture. Nightingale in Florida says he does look like Sean Connery. My good friend Jim, I thought he looked more like Lauren Green than the others. Who are you referring to?
You.
Me or him?
You're the old one.
Aye, I see. Aye. Let's see. More like Jack White. Jack Black's older brother.
Okay, why's it got to be about color?
I don't know. It's always about color, isn't it?
Yep.
Another reason for Florida Pirate Republic, of which both of you are council members. Yes, the Florida Pirate Republic is something that Scarlett put together. We'll have to do an episode just on the Republic, and you know what, Scarlett? We have the ability. Davey, how many people can we bring in on the show at one time?
10.
10. Scarlett, maybe we should do a show where we bring in every one of the council members, because I don't think you have. Now, if you take Davey and Hellfire out of it, we can put 8 in. Me would be one more, so we could put 7. Let's put all the council members of the Pirate Republic on a show one night. What do you think? Talk about it. Think about it.
Some of the members of that Pirate Republic will be here in Panama City also.
Good. Then let's have a good conversation and get them all on. We're going to do a live podcast if we can.
Yes.
On Saturday evening, we'll do a live podcast.
Yes.
We'll set up the tent, do a live
After
podcast.
the parade, we'll go back to the encampment, and we have stuff that's going to be set up that nobody's seen before, and we'll all sit around and enjoy each other in conversation.
I have to look at my phone real quick because Earl said he sent me a message to my phone with a picture. So let's see if I can find it real quick, because a couple of other comments over so Earl sent a couple of pictures, and we'll put them up on the next show of the destruction of Panama City Beach. It was terrible. Also, Little Traveler, he said he is sorry. He's been going back and forth between our show and a TV show. Hey, all I got to say is our show should be first. The TV show should be second. Scarlet Deerheart said yes, with lots of exclamation points. So I'm thinking that it's a yes to bringing the Florida Republic to our show.
We should actually have the Florida Pirate Republic do a little bit on the podcast here.
That's what we're thinking of.
Yeah.
We'll do a podcast that's devoted completely to the Florida Pirate Republic. So we'll pick a date on that and start working on it. So let's see.
We also need to get a picture of all the pirate members of the Order of Leviathan while you're here too.
What's that?
We need to get a picture of all the pirate members of the Order of Leviathan.
While we're at PCB? Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Zachary Harker says how much he likes their work. They do some wonderful songs. Late at night when I'm just sitting having a rum, ladies and gentlemen, I like to watch YouTube, and I love to just put on really strange things, and they're part of it. Another one that my wife turned me on to.
Keep it good.
What's that?
I said it's a family show. Keep it quiet.
No, I'm talking about good stuff. I'm talking about good stuff.
Okay.
Another group, and we'll probably play them down the road, is called Broken Peach. Look them up. You guys that are following us will love what they do. Let's see what else we have here. Hey, can a pirate play a ukulele and get away with it? Of course you can.
Yes.
Little Traveler, when I was on the Black Raven, we had a pirate on there playing the ukulele, and she did really well. I am trying, but I am with the family. Sorry, don't worry about that. It's okay, Little Traveler. You can do that photo in the Shiver Me Timbers booth. I'd be honored to take that photo. That would be a great idea.
Well, we haven't done it in a while.
What's that?
Cheers.
Oh, yes. There you go.
I'm drinking Order Leviathan rum.
All right. Are you really?
Yes.
Lucky you. So I've reached the end of all our comments, and we've gone over our hour by 15 minutes. Davey.
Yes.
It would seem to me that we've done over our hour many times lately because we have some really great shows going on.
Yeah, it's been great.
What do you say,
I've
Mr.
got a couple
Henley?
text messages from people saying how great it was tonight.
Are they watching?
They didn't say whether they must be if they said it was great.
Either that or they're just blowing smoke.
No, I trust these people.
Cool, because I am doing ukulele and music now. Little Traveler, you get that ukulele. God, I can't even say it. Ukulele. You get it going, and we'll work on some sea shanties. I'll sing with you.
Bill, don't sing with them. I've heard you sing.
Yeah, but
I've heard you sing and I've seen you dance. It's not pretty.
I won't brag about dancing, but I will tell you this. I learned very simply that when pirates sing, nobody cares if we can't sing. They just want us to sing.
Yep.
There.
I'll bring my
Now
drums. Drums and all that. We'll play together.
Maybe I can convince them to. Maybe I can convince them to come over and hang out at Panama City. We'll see what I can do. I'll talk to his dad. Little Traveler, I talked to your dad this morning, in fact. So I'll talk to him a little bit more. We'll see what we can do. It's nice to see you back. Hopefully school's going well for you. Little Traveler would come to the Pirate Museum on Saturdays and hang out in the Pirate Museum for hours. And when I was doing tours, if I was busy doing something else, he would give stories and talk to people in certain parts of the museum, and he had all the stories right. I think he hung out with me too much. I'm a bad influence. It's great to be back. Aye. Hey, Zachary Harker says, we may not be able to carry a tune, but we can harmonize. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached that point in the show. What's that?
Can't carry a tune in a peach basket.
Aye. Or a rum cask.
There you go.
Aye, so we've reached all those points that we need to probably say some good things to all the people that support us. What do you say, Mr. Longwood? Aye. Here's the show coming up.
First.
What's that?
This is first.
Yes. Davey keeps me up on it. Mandy Joe Brown from the Utah Pirates will be with us next week. On October 10th, when we return from the Pirates of the High Seas event, we'll probably do some messages and videos about the show and the whole weekend.
On that date, if you want me to click in with y'all, I'll be glad to do that.
I think we'll do. We'll do it an after event show,
Okay.
and it'll be all about the Pirates of the High Seas. October 17th, I'm thrilled to have my good friend Andy Nance here. He's an author, an actor, a voice, and he's written a couple of books, and he just had one published that's all for children, and it's children's horror stories, so it's really cool. Mo from my good friend out in Las Vegas, October 24th, we're doing his show then because he does a Halloween event in his backyard, and we want to talk about it and brag about it. October 31st, on location surprise. I only put that there because I have no idea what we're going to do because we'll be so busy the whole weekend. Who knows what we'll do in that October 31st show, but probably have some great videos of what we did in the Colonial Quarter, which we'll be advertising soon. November 7th, we may be doing something with the tasting tours. They're still on. And November 14th, my good friend Marc Fauget, who's not here tonight, he is the Quebec Pirate and has his own radio program up there on Sundays nights. And I haven't seen him tonight, so he must be busy. So we'll be putting him on. November 21st and 28th, we're still open. All through December, we're still open. But I bet we'll be doing a couple of other shows. In fact, I think November 7th, we may not be doing the tasting tours, but we're working on a live show from Dick's Wings, an actual live show in the bar at Dick's Wings, and it'll be part of our toy drive and our toy sponsorship for everything we do here in St. Augustine. So pay attention to all of that. Next on the list, Crew Adventures. Ladies and gentlemen, there's everything we do. I'm not going to read them all off. November 12th, Pirates on the Edge. October 28, 29, 30, our Halloween event. October 7, 8, and 9, Panama City Beach, Pirates on the High Seas. December 3rd, December 16th, the Ancient City Sirens doing both events with me. And of course, January 2023, it is time for Old City Pirate Fest to come back with a holler and a hoot and it's going to be a holler and a hoot because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Our Friday night band I booked is Firewater Tent Revival. If you haven't heard of them, then you're living under a rock. Go look them up. They're part of my family, I'm part of their family, and they're doing this to help me out with my charities. So, come out and see us. Tickets will be $15 per person. We'll only have a certain amount of tickets ready for that night, but be a part of it that Friday night, January 27th. Next on the list there, Davey, is our sponsors. St. Augustine Sirens, Dick's Wings, Paper and Strings, that's our own good friends over in Tampa. Colonial Oak Music Park, Shiver Me Pictures with Scarlett Deerhart, and of course the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. All of these people have helped us this whole year keep up with our payments on our fees to the people that we have to pay to keep this show alive. It's great to have them. Supporting personnel in this show, the Powder Monkey, there's Davey and Henley, Captain William Mayhem, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, and W. Mayhem Productions. We can't do it without all of these people helping us out. It's not just us sitting here talking on the screen, drinking rum, and having a good time. It takes some help. Our charities are St. Augustine Youth Services, Inc., Investing in Kids, the Humane Society, and our own toy drive every year. And this year will be our 10th year, I believe, doing our toy drive. 10 years. Not as good as Captain Mayhem over in Panama City, because he's been with the toy drive over there for 20 years now. Right there, Mayhem?
A little over 20.
So very important to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a part of us, join our Patreon page. Go to patreon.com and be a part of our page by being a supporting sponsor as a Powder Monkey or a First Mate. Our First Mates, we have 7 of those. We have 1 Powder Monkey. But look at the subscribers on YouTube. We went from 200 and... what was it, Mr.
27.
We went from 227 to 252 in the last 2 weeks. We jumped up over 20 points, 30 points, ladies and gentlemen. We are subscribers with 252, and we're very happy to have it be a part of it. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can hit 300 subscribers by the 1st of January, we will put all the names of the 300 subscribers in a hat and pull out and give 5 prizes. Also, if we have 10 subscribers, first mate, on Patreon, we will take those 10 subscribers, put them in a hat, and our good friend from Las Vegas, the sketchy guy, has agreed to do a cartoon caricature of you as part of our prize to get to 10 subscribers on Patreon. Ladies and gentlemen, that's very important for all of us. It helps keep the show going because the show costs money. Davey Longwood, Hellfire Henley, and Captain William Mayhem don't make a dime out of this. We do it because we have a good time and we love to promote other pirate crews doing what they do. But it does cost money. We can't use the music, the pictures, or the streaming without paying the fees. And that's where you come in if you're a supporter in some way, shape, or form. So ladies and gentlemen, join us up and have a good time. What else do we have in the comments before we get ready to say our farewells? Ken Smith says the museum is my favorite and first place to hit when I'm in town. Ken Smith, you honor me. Thank you very much. Scarlett Deerheart, speak for yourself, Mr. Harker. I can sing. Well, then we're going to make her sing. Little Traver, which duck's wings? He meant Dick's wings. And his subscription helps, and of course, he has the bell on his subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a great show today. We've gone to the hour and a half mark. So we always give our guests one extra thing to do. Mr. Captain Ransom King Mayhem and or my brother, Del King McRea, you have the final words before we sign out. Tell us what you want to tell us.
Everybody be happy, be safe during this storm that's coming in the state of Florida. Get a chance, come to Panama City, see our event, see what we do. You'll enjoy it. You'll have a good time. Everybody's going to be awesome.
Oh, had to put the R in there, didn't you?
Well, it's my word on it, yes. You're welcome to use it anytime you want.
Oh, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll close with this before we say our final farewells. This has been one of my favorite shows because I finally got to get my brother on board the show. We've been talking about it for a couple of weeks, couple of months, couple of years. We had to do something together. And now we've done something to promote his event in Panama City Beach. If you want to have a good time, come out and see the Pirates of the White Sands, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, and whatever other crews that are coming aboard, because there will be at least 3 or 4 other crews coming aboard to be a part of that.
Yep.
We want everybody to be out there and have a good time. It will be the biggest and best one of the Pirates of the High Seas Fest. It is time to say goodbye. It is time to say farewell. We raise our tankards, and we complete our show by saying,
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
always, forever, we love you for your support. Thank you very much. R.
All right, huzzah!